What if you could organize all your favorite prompts, insert them into any ComfyUI workflow in seconds, and even randomize them for endless variations? In this tutorial, I'll show you how to build and manage a powerful prompt tag library, so you can stop rewriting the same prompts again and again. I'll also show you how to pause your workflow after an LLM generates text, edit the result manually, and then continue the workflow using your modified version. I am adding a version check node so you can see what version of ComfyUI and Pixaroma nodes I have at the time of this recording. You need this version or a newer one for the workflow to work. Download the free workflows, check the video description, and let's get started with the first workflow. I will use a Crea2 workflow to show you some examples, but you should already know how to get the models and everything else you need from the previous episodes. The only thing that is different from the previous workflow is this clip model. I replaced it with one that does not refuse to generate some of my prompts like the default clip model sometimes does. You can read more about that model here and find other versions if you want to try them. I am running the workflow first so you can see what it does. It is just a simple text-to-image workflow. Instead of adding the prompt directly inside the clip text encode node, I added it to this new prompt Pixaroma node and connected it to the input where we normally enter our prompts. Until now, I used the previous text Pixaroma node to add prompts, or prompt stack and other Pixaroma nodes. But this new node, called prompt Pixaroma, is a little different. As you can see here, we have some commands and tags that we can use. Let me show you with a real example. Instead of typing this long prompt every time, I will delete it. As I type, it shows suggestions for the tags you can use. If I type the @sign, the one you usually use to tag people on Discord or YouTube, it lets you insert a prompt that you have already defined. All those prompts are saved in a library that you create. If you click this tags button, a new tag library opens with a lot of options to organize your tags. I will click on these three dots and then choose Delete Everything so I can start with a clean library. On the left, we have two types of categories: text categories and list categories. I will explain the difference in a few minutes. Let me add a new text category first. I will call it Styles, since I want to save some art styles that I can easily reuse. Here you type a short tag name, the word you will use later when you want to insert it. Then you enter the longer prompt that should be inserted when that tag is used. This is where you save those long prompts that take time to type every time. Then you click Create Tag, and the tag is added to the library. You can see that this category now contains one tag. From here, you can insert it into the prompt, delete it, or edit either the tag name or the long prompt at any time. Let me add another one for watercolor painting. Maybe I will just call it watercolor to keep it shorter, then paste in the longer prompt. By the way, before you save a tag, you can choose which category it belongs to or create a new category if you need one. I will leave this one in Styles and click Create. Now, let me create a different category, maybe one for characters. One thing you should know is that it depends on which category you currently have selected. If you have all selected, it will show every tag, but when you create a new tag, you still need to choose which category it should be saved in. If you have style selected, for example, new tags will be saved there unless you change the category. Let's say I have all tags selected, and I create a tag for this bunny. Here I write the description of that bunny. Since I am on all tags, it would normally save it in the default text category, which works like an uncategorized folder. But in this case, I will choose the characters category before creating the tag. Now that I have 3 tags across 2 categories, I can show you how to use them. The moment I type the @sign, it lets me search through all the tags. The list is filtered as I type more letters. Let's say I select the bunny tag, then insert another tag and choose one of the styles. Now, when I run the workflow, I should get that bunny in a watercolor style, as you can see here. Now let's say I want a different style. I will replace the watercolor tag with the oil painting tag and run it again. Now the result is the same bunny, but in an oil painting style. I am going back to the tag library. With the styles category selected, I will add a new one called Steampunk, just to have some more variety. Back in the prompt Pixaroma node, instead of selecting each style individually, I will use the asterisk sign. That lets me choose an entire category instead of a single tag. You can see here that the styles category has 3 tags. If I select it and expand this, you can see it is using the bunny tag, then randomly picking one of the styles. Now, if I run the workflow, I get an oil painting on the first run. The second time I run it, I get a watercolor style, and the third time I get a steampunk style. Since we are talking about randomization, there is one more feature you should know about. We can also create lists. When you create a new tag, before you type anything, you can choose whether it is a list or a text tag. If I select list, you can see it says one option per line. A text tag is for a single prompt. Let me create a new category called animals. I make sure it is a list type. You can also choose whether the list is shuffled, random, or goes through the items in order. You can set that now or change it later. For the tag, I will call it cute animals. Then I will add one animal per line, pressing enter after each one. Once I have the complete list, I click create. Now we have both text categories and list categories. You can quickly see which ones are lists because they have this shuffle option, and the category type is list instead of text. The others are text tags. You can also convert a list into a text tag if you want. Now that you know how to create a list, let me show you how to use it. We use the @ sign for tags and the asterisk for random categories. To use a list, you type the number sign. Now I can select the cute animals list. You can see it will pick a different animal each time the workflow runs. You can also add more text before or after the list and make the prompt as complex as you want. Maybe I will also add a random style at the end. Now, when I run the workflow, I get a random animal in a random style. I can change the number of runs to 10 and let it generate 10 images. Each run will use a different animal and a different style. It is a great way to explore different prompts. You set it up once, then let it generate lots of random combinations so you can see which ones work best. But you can do even more. You can see it has a text input here, so you can connect text from other nodes that output text. For example, let me add this text node here. You could use it for LoRA trigger words or any other text you need. You could also save the LoRA trigger words in the library, but let's say you want to edit them easily and keep them visible. When I connect this node, you can see the top part changes. By default, it uses my prompt first, followed by the connected text. If I change it to wired first, I get those trigger words first and my prompt after them. When you run the workflow, you get both prompts combined together. So you can change the text and arrange it in whatever order is easiest for you. The way those two prompts are joined can also be changed here. By default, it uses a comma, but you can use something else instead, like a pipe character or any other separator you want to appear in the prompt. I will leave it as the default comma because that makes the most sense. I am back in the tag library. From these 3 dots, you can also rename or export a category, delete a category, or delete a category together with all its tags so you can organize everything however you want. If I delete only the category, the tags are kept and moved into the default text category. Or, if you want, you can delete both the category and all the tags at the same time. If you want to delete the entire library, use this delete button. You cannot undo that, so I recommend exporting a backup first. Once you are sure, press the delete button. I also created some example categories with AI. If I click import, I can select this file that comes with the workflows. It is a JSON file, but it is not a workflow. After importing it, you can see that it adds several example categories. You can even give that JSON file to ChatGPT or another AI and ask it to replace the categories and prompts with your own while keeping the same format. When I click import, all those new categories are added. They are just examples to give you ideas on how you can build your own prompt library. For example, from the characters category, I will select this night tag. When I insert it, it is added to the prompt Pixaroma node. Then I go to the scene category and choose Cozy Cafe. Next, I go to Styles and choose Oil Painting. Now, if I close the library, you can see that all those inserted tags are now inside the prompt, together with any other text you already had. Since I deleted the old categories, you can see that one tag is now red. That means it no longer exists in the library, so it is treated as plain text instead of a tag. The same happens when you type a new tag. It stays red until you select a valid tag from the library, then it turns orange. Now, when I run the workflow, I get that night in a cozy cafe painted in an oil painting style. Pretty cool, right? Now let's replace the night with a different character, maybe an explorer. When I run it again, I get the explorer instead. If you are curious how the JSON file looks and how the library is stored, it looks something like this. It contains all the text categories and list categories first, followed by all the tags. Like I said, you will probably want to let an AI generate or edit that file for you, or simply use the interface, which is much easier than editing the JSON manually. Try importing that example file first, then delete it and build your own library the way you want. That is all for the prompt Pixaroma node. Now, let me show you another interesting node that lets you pause text coming from an LLM. I am opening this Creo workflow with Prompt Enhancer. It still has the prompt Pixaroma node here, but I am not using any tags in this example. Instead, it is connected to this text join node, which contains a formula that is combined with my prompt. That is then passed to the text generate node to generate the final prompt. For the LLM, I am using the same Qwen text encoder that I mentioned before because it does not refuse to generate prompts like the default model many people use. That means I can generate a prompt almost every time instead of getting a message saying, "Sorry, I can't generate that." The node I want to show you is called pause text. Search for pause text and add it after the text generate node. Without this node, the text would go directly into the workflow, and you would not have a chance to edit it. I can simulate that by using pass mode. Now, when I run the workflow, it generates the prompt, sends it straight through the workflow, and creates the image in about 25 seconds. But if I switch it to pause mode, the workflow stops there. I also added this regenerate button. As you know, the text generate node uses a fixed seed, so normally you would have to change it manually. Instead, I can just click regenerate, and it automatically assigns a new random seed and generates a new prompt. Now I can decide if I like the prompt or not. I can edit it, then press continue, and the workflow will continue from that point, giving me a new image. For example, let's say I change the text on the t-shirt so it says bunny instead. You can see it now shows edited here. When I click continue, it generates a new image using that edited prompt. So you can edit, remove, or add anything you want before continuing. There are also a few more buttons on this node. For example, you can use this one to copy the text, and you can reset the prompt back to the original LLM output before you started editing. Let's say I edit the prompt so it says the character is a cat, then click continue. I get a cat. But instead of clicking continue, if I click run, it starts the entire workflow from the beginning. Since the seed is fixed, it generates the original LLM prompt again for that seed. There is also a way to use the run button without replacing your edited prompt or running the LLM again. That is what this keep option is for. It keeps your edited prompt and only runs the workflow from that point onward. For example, I can edit the prompt, and I even change the continue button to run so it is clear that it works with the run button as well. Now I can click run, and it uses my edited prompt. I can also use the main run button at the top, and it generates a different image using a new seed while keeping the same prompt. So now you have much more control over your prompts. Whenever you want the LLM to generate a new prompt, just use pause mode. It lets you regenerate the prompt, edit it if you want, then continue with the updated version to create a new image. Keep in mind that all Pixaroma nodes include a help button, so you can learn more about how they work. I also plan to add a settings button next to the help button to make it easier to access each node's settings. I am also working on a searchable help system. Hopefully, it will be ready next week. Speaking of Prompt Enhancer, you already know that it can generate a prompt from an image. In this workflow, I can load any image I want as a reference. When I run it, it generates a prompt describing that image. I can then edit that prompt however I want, click continue, and the workflow continues from there. The final image should be similar to the reference, depending on the seed and how accurately the generated prompt describes the original image. Let's say I want a different top cube, maybe orange instead of red. I click continue, and now I get an orange cube on top. Let me use a fixed seed for the workflow so we get similar images with only small color changes. Now I will change it to purple and use the keep option so it does not regenerate the prompt. This gives me this image. Next, I change it to orange, and you can see the image is very similar, but with a different colored cube. Now I will change it to yellow, and again, the image should stay fairly similar because we only changed one thing. Keep in mind that it depends on what you change. Some words have a stronger influence and can affect more parts of the image. Most of the time, it will change small details besides the cube as well. A fixed seed does not mean every part of the image stays exactly the same. It only means the generation starts from the same point, but changing the prompt can still lead to different results. You also have a workflow that only generates prompts from images if you want to use that separately. It includes a seed node set to random, so it generates a new prompt each time you run it. You can also connect this workflow to any other workflow, such as Z-Image, Qwen, or any other workflow that accepts a text prompt. Speaking of this Qwen model, you have several versions available. I use the Int8 version because it is faster on my PC, but you can also try the Ep28 version or, if you have an RTX 50 series card, the Ep4 version. Test them on your PC and see which one gives you the best speed.
Prompts are everywhere. Prompts are everywhere. If you like today's video, drop a like and leave a comment to help this channel grow. Thanks, legends, for all the support. Have a good week full of creative prompts. That's it all for today. Made a prompt. Lead your way.